Good morning, dear friends. Another day in the sacred opportunity of being co-creator, a cooperator with God. That's the reason why we exist, and the reason being for our reincarnation. And to align ourselves in harmony with the Creator and cooperate, we're going to read a message from the Spirit, Sister Rosalia, as in chapter 13, item 9 of the Gospel according to Spiritism by Allan Kardec. In the Spirit's teaching, we're going to learn a little more about this movement of the soul that we call charity. She talks about material charity and moral charity. Let us listen to this message, followed by the prayer. Let us love one another and do unto others what we would want them to do unto us. Every religion, every moral possible is contained in these two precepts. If you were to abide by them in this world, you would be perfect. There would be neither hatred nor dissent. Furthermore, I will say that there would be no more poverty, because from the surplus of the table of each rich person, many poor people would be fed. And in the dark back streets where I lived during my last reincarnation, you would not see poor mothers dragging along their miserable children in need of everything. You, who are rich, think about this a bit. Help unfortunates as much as you can. Give so that one day God will repay the good you have done. And when you leave your earthly envelope, you will find a cortege of thankful spirits who will receive you at the threshold of a more blessed world. If only you could know the joy I experienced in meeting on the other side those whom I was always able to help during my last life. Therefore, love your neighbor. Love your neighbor as you love yourself, because you know now that that unfortunate fellow you're rejecting and keeping away is perhaps a brother, a father, or a friend. And then what despair you will feel upon recognizing him in the world of spirits. I would like you to understand fully what moral charity entails. The type that everyone can exhibit and which costs nothing materially, which is nonetheless very difficult to put into practice. Moral charity consists in giving support to one another, and it is what you practice the least on the low order world where you're incarnate for now. Believe me, there is great merit in knowing how to keep quiet and let a more ignorant person speak. This is yet another kind of charity, knowing how to turn a deaf ear when a mocking word escapes the mouth accustomed to scorn, not paying attention to the smirk of disdain that greets your entry amongst persons who often wrongly think they are above you, whereas in the spirit life, the only true life, they are sometimes far from it. These are meritorious acts, not of humility but of charity, because not paying attention to someone else's wrongs portrays moral charity. This sort of charity, however, must not hinder the other one. Remember especially not to neglect your neighbor. Remember all that I have told you. You must always remember that the poor person whom you reject perhaps houses a spirit who used to be dear to you and who for the time being is in a position beneath yours. I myself met again one of the poor of your earth, whom I had fortunately been able to help a few times, and from whom I must now in turn ask for help. Remember that Jesus said that we're all brothers and sisters. Always think about that before rejecting the leper or beggar. Goodbye. Think of those who suffer and pray for them. What a beautiful message. What a joy for us to receive this illumination and this instruction. A new day begins, and we're being invited to cooperate with God, sharing the resources we're given, but most of all, feeling that everyone whom we encounter are precious and sacred to God as we are. Listen to people. Give them a break when they don't know better, and pray. Always pray. That's why we invite you now to pray. Pray with us at this very moment. In the joy of this moment, we thank you, dear Sister Rosalia, Master Jesus, for the opportunity of reflecting on how we can cooperate with God on earth. We're so used of thinking of our personal needs so selfishly. But today, we will practice selflessness, seeking the needs of others and fulfilling them as best we can before we even think about our needs. Serving and the beauty of service, because we trust that you provide to us, dear God, that nothing lacks to us, that by serving others, we're serving you. And we don't need to be worried about anything else. We thank you for this new day. And we pray for those who are in our homes, whether incarnated or discarnated. We pray for the rescue of entities who are in need of help. We pray for loved ones who are sick or terminally ill. We pray for the grace of healing for those who are in the hospitals, in prisons, nursing homes, the migrant children who are separated from their parents. And we ask most of all for the mercy of the leaders of the world. May they feel your call to do the good today and always. And so be it. Thank you, friends, for joining us at Kardec Radio in this morning prayer. And stay connected, because Kardec Radio has an app. You can listen to it 24/7. You can listen it through Alexa or Spotify or SoundCloud, or there's so many platforms. You can go to Instagram, Kardec Radio. You can go to also YouTube channel. And in so many ways, you can find programs for you 24/7. And don't forget, we have the live programs coming up throughout the day. We wish you a beautiful day and everything that you need to follow through a day in cooperation with God. And we are here at Kardec Radio, nourishing our souls together. Thank you, friends.